but a number of different areas of this game. What gives? Because if you've watched these two teams this year, Leonard Fournette, that LSU run game, have pretty much done whatever they wanted to do to the opposition. Alabama, their front seven has stoned every run game they've faced so far. Brandon Harris, via that offensive line and his escapability, has been kept very clean. Alabama, 7th in sacks in the country right now. LSU, only 2 turnovers offensively all year. Brandon Harris has thrown 0 picks. Alabama has forced 17 turnovers so far this year. Both special teams units kind of questionable, iffy at times, but there are a lot of things here that have been the formula for these teams winning. Obviously, something has to give. It'll go one way or the other.
Coaches go through the same maturation process, and Cam Cameron finally has the team that he wants. He's got deep threats offensively at wide receiver. He's got a once-in-a-lifetime running back, and he's got a quarterback that takes care of the football and has all of the talent to be a game-breaking quarterback if you need him to.
Over the last 9 years, there have been 7 times in the fourth quarter that a lead change has occurred in this game. 7 out of the last 9 years that's happened. 2 of the last 3 years, Alabama has trailed with 2 minutes to go and still found a way to win the game. I know we talk about running backs a lot, and with good reason. These are 2 of the very best that you'll see in the country. I still fully believe, I've got the kind of feel on this one I had with Georgia, Florida. In the fourth quarter, I think it'll come down to quarterback play again. And here's the caveat now. In this game in years past, there's been that kind of feel where we got to manage the quarterback. We have to win in spite of decent to poor quarterback play. I really feel like both teams feel good about where they are.
I think these quarterbacks, honestly, are further along than, let's say, an A.J. McCarron was back in 2011.
Yeah, I agree with you.
When Alabama decided to take the reins off him in the national championship game, the best thing they could have done, because he showed them that he could not only be a game manager, but be a game winner. They didn't kill Dabo Swinney. They didn't say, hey, we're rid of this guy. And now it has paid off. It has paid off because he has recruited at a high level, offensively and defensively. And the plan that he had has now come to fruition. They went from being not a contender to being a contender who couldn't get over the hump, Josh, to being a bona fide national championship team right now. And I think a lot of that goes to the program because they stuck with Dabo Swinney, and the players love him. I continue to throw out the word and the term true players coach because he doesn't do what players like. He does what players need, and that's why they respond to him so well.
And I don't hear it really well because I'm laughing when they're talking about it, but I hear a lot of people that, with a straight face, look at a camera on national television and say, hey, the Big 12. I think it's the Big 12, not the Pac-12, not the SEC. The Big 12 is the best conference in the country right now. I know a lot of these ratings that some of these programs and networks have the top 3 teams in the country as being from the Big 12. Do you know who's on TV as we speak? You know who's playing right now?
Yeah, Baylor.
Baylor. Did you even know that game was happening before today? I didn't either. So apparently the word didn't get out. Do you know that TCU and Oklahoma State are playing this weekend? Now, we know this, but LSU and Alabama is on every marquee, every front page. Have you really even heard TCU and Oklahoma State talked about?
Nope.
And if this is the best conference in the country, no reason for that. Undefeated TCU, undefeated Oklahoma State. I mean, if this is the best conference in the country and you've got 2 undefeateds in November playing a game, shouldn't this be wall-to-wall front page coverage? Yes, it should if you mean what you say, but deep down, even you don't buy some of the stuff that comes out of your mouth. Matt gets a little carried away now. A lot of buttons in there he can press, and he's doing a very good job. Jason in Phoenix City wants to know this, Mr. Rivers. How do you think Baylor would do in the SEC?
As constituted, as Baylor plays right now.
Yes.
Am I saying that they would be the exact same team in the SEC? I think they would be a team that possibly wins 8 or 9 games. I think what they would do is, and everybody likes to say, well, you don't understand Baylor's offense. They like to run the football at 60-40.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They're a spread passing team. They're not an Auburn that spreads you out to run at you. They're a spread passing team, no beans about it. I think they would be a team like Ole Miss. Their offense wouldn't be sustainable, and they wouldn't have the defensive horses to be able to keep up with teams that can beat you up front.
You compared them to Ole Miss. There's an even better comparison in the SEC West. A&M. That's who that'd be. Yeah. That'd be Texas A&M. They would run up the score on some people, and then they would get completely stonewalled by some people. And that would be life for Baylor in the SEC. That's it. You know, you talk about the run-pass ratio. A&M came into this season chirping about how much they were going to commit to the run game. Well, when you got 7 yards on 12 carries in the second quarter, you can't commit to it anymore, can you? It's not just something you talk about. It's a mentality thing. It's an identity thing. And it's very tough to go 5 wide on 3rd and 1 and then all of a sudden say, next series, hey, smash mouth, we're going to run the ball. Paul in Hamilton. Where's the big upset going to be this weekend?
I told you I didn't think this was going to happen. However, on the show yesterday, I said watch out for Nebraska-Michigan State because Nebraska has 6 losses by a total of 23 points. They've been competitive every game. They have a guy named Tommy Armstrong Jr. at quarterback who can make plays with his arm and with his legs.
I'm going to give you 4 games. 2 upsets out of these 4 will happen.
Okay.
Houston against Cincinnati. Houston's at home. They're favored by 8.
Right.
Memphis welcomes in Navy. Memphis is favored by 7. Keep in mind
I like
now, these
that
are top 15 teams favored by roughly a touchdown against unranked teams. The Michigan State at Nebraska game, Michigan State about a 5 or 6 point favorite, and Iowa at Indiana. Iowa favored by a touchdown. 4 games. 2 of those will be upsets. Right, okay, so as you loosen the tie, I'm going to keep with what I've been doing. I bumped Alabama all the way up to an 8. I was sitting at my desk today.
Are you kidding
I was
me?
eating my homage soup, and all of a sudden it just hit me. Maybe J.C. Sherbert is right. Maybe this isn't as close. No, I think it's still going to be close. I'll take Alabama. I bumped A&M up to a 7 just because I want to beat you by that much more. I'm sticking with Arkansas. Thought about flipping. I did not. I kept Clemson at a 10, and only because Matt won't let me go with a 13 on that. TCU is still a 2. Who in the world knows what's going to happen in the Big 12?
If you haven't noticed, let go of the tie.
There it goes.
Now it's unleashed.
New look, same picks.
LSU beats Alabama. And they're going to have to if I want to win this thing.
They are.
Ole Miss is going to have to beat Arkansas if I want to win this thing. These are the only 2 games that I'm worried about. Look, I'm through analyzing these games. I've done it all week. I am sitting here talking to you about what I need to happen.